valence, you get crossing over, you then rip the bivalent apart but leave the sisters together. The sisters then need to be separated, and everything happens. So if you want to concern yourself, and it's been on every exam I've ever written, this exact question: what are the major differences between meiosis and mitosis? They're the two things in the red boxes, and the little thing over there saying no pairing of homologous chromosomes. Any of those work. You don't pair duplicated homologs in mitosis because they don't exist. And you don't have to separate homologs in the first anaphase because there is only one anaphase, and that's to separate sister chromatids in the mitosis path. The second division of meiosis and mitosis look identical. They really do. They just get everybody yanked apart and everything's happy. But for some reason, the cell on the left now only has one chromosome, and the cell on the right has two, even though they're the same damn color. Which is why I encourage you to take this page out of your book, rip it up into little pieces, and throw it away. I've complained to the manufacturer of the textbook. I've written to the authors of the textbook until they died. Actually, one of them did die. To change this picture. It's kind of a sad story, but you know. Anyway, so they still refuse to change it. I've even made it with the black part for them. So. Anyway, these are the differences. You end up with 4 haploid organisms versus 2 diploid organisms. And so here's just another way to make sure that you don't get this question wrong. What are the unique aspects of it? You get pairing of the homologs. You get crossover recombination. When a normal somatic cell divides, you don't try to mix up the DNA. The cell is perfectly happy. Why would you mix up the DNA? It's not something that you want to do. You get the separation of the homologs. And DNA replication, in fact, occurs only once in each case, but the cells divide twice. I cannot tell you how many of you will put on the exam that you don't have DNA replication in meiosis. Because you don't really need it. If you think about how you could end up with 2 haploid gametes, you don't really need it. But don't put that on the exam, because I will mark it wrong, just like you do every other year. So, why do cells go through all of this? You can look at basic math. There are 2 really good reasons to do meiosis to make babies. You can make an exact clone of yourself. I don't know if you need 2 of you, but we could have 2 of you. It would be really easy to do. And if you think human cloning cannot be done, you're just fooling yourself. It's really, really easy now. It shouldn't be a problem. We put a moratorium on it. And in fact, there's lots of human clones. Are any of you a twin? Are any of you an identical twin? Yep, see, we've got a clone already in the room. Do you think you have less rights because you're a clone? I used to teach this ethics class where said if you could make a clone and like keep it in a shed out back in case you needed a liver, you know, like what if something happened and you needed one? Just go to the shed, get your clone, take the liver, life is good, right? So should we put this young lady in a shed, or should we give her every right out there? I think it's kind of silly to ban human cloning. I could clone you right now, right? Do you think you'd pop out looking just like you were? No, you'd be a baby. Right, to make like a full-grown person. You'd be a baby. And so you grow up in a different environment. You'd be fed different things. Unless we change you in a shed like we should, you know, for her, and harvest organs from you, it just wouldn't happen, right? There's nothing that there's no reason that we should bother with. So why do we have sex? From an evolutionary point of view. The real reason is that you get every possible combination back. So I like to play cards, and I believe in statistics and different things. And so if you have 3 pairs of chromosomes, let's say the red and the yellow is chromosome 1, the brown and black is chromosome 2, and chromosome 3 is represented in cyan or green. If you just randomly decided you needed to pick one chromosome 1, one chromosome 2, and one chromosome 3, you would end up with 8 possible combinations. Now, how many chromosomes do you have? 23. So doing the math of random things says that if we just did it, we would end up with over 8 million different babies. 8 different million sperm, or 8 million different eggs. Now, I think the record in this room is 9 and 9 siblings, right? So we're not even within like 1/1,000,000th of our potential genetic capacity just by doing that. But then when you start crossing over individual chromosomes, so here, I don't know why, the colors are completely different again. You would think red would cross over with orange, or brown would cross over with black, but no, they decided that red should cross over with black. I don't know why, but don't believe all the colors in the book. So if you do that, you end up with amazing number of things, because you could have